Hi, welcome to Metal and Rock Zone. It's Friday and there is new music. And not just any music, today it's Slipknot's new album, The End So Far. And first of all, if you can guess who this is on my t-shirt, then write that in the comments. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. Um, Slipknot, everybody knows Slipknot. I mean, they're huge. They're kind of to extreme metal what Metallica is for thrash metal. You know, they have opened this genre up to a lot of people. I've seen Slipknot probably like 12 times, and I've seen them play for 5,000 people. I've seen them play for 60,000 people. So they're now like a stadium band in a way. So it's their seventh album. They came out in '99 with a self-titled Slipknot, and then 2001 Iowa, which was kind of like a groundbreaking album, and I think a reference point for a lot of fans, which they will compare everything that Slipknot has done since then to. Um, and I mean, yeah, it's a band that is a lot in the media, and Corey Taylor, the singer of Slipknot, you can't really open a web page or a newspaper without hearing his opinion on, I don't know, the latest recipe of chicken or whatever. He's everywhere. It's actually amazing. Um, so I want to talk about the album, what makes it special, what it feels like they're doing, and if it will piss off people, because some might see it that like it's a, how do you say, departure from the Slipknot that we know and like. So I didn't like their last album, and the second one before that wasn't something that I felt was great somehow. So my kind of, let's say, my feelings and emotions towards Slipknot were kind of on the way down in a way. And then I saw them live in 2019, and it was a bad sound. I don't know if it was the building or their system or whatever, but it wasn't great. So I was, And then I saw them again now in 2022, and they were amazing. Same building, same band, but they were great. So I was kind of on my way up again. And then the singles for this album came out, and I was like, this is just kind of more of the same. And I wasn't very impressed. So when this album came to me, I wasn't very excited, to be very honest. And I somehow had low hopes. And it kicks off with a song that is completely different, called Adderall, which is basically an amphetamine that people use to deal with attention disorder. And with that title and that topic, you would kind of expect a blast, but it's not. It's more like a very trippy kind of Nine Inch Nails meets, I don't know, Radiohead or something. It's harmonized choruses and clean singing. And Corey Taylor does a great job on that song, and I have to give him credit. I mean, he might not know everything about new chicken recipes, but he is one of the best singers in the business. He can sing in every kind of possible way. He can growl, he can groan, he can clean sing, he can scream. I mean, the whole thing is there. And my first initial thought when I heard the song is that this would piss people off. This is like a departure from the Slipknot that we know. Um, Then song number two starts, and that's the Dying Song, and time Dying Song, Time to Sing, I think it's called. And I saw that live at the concert. We have a video of that here actually. I saw that this summer, and it was the first time they played it live, and I wasn't very impressed. Same with the third song, Chapeltown Rag. That's also one of the singles, and those two songs are very much kind of trademark Slipknot songs in some way, but I have to admit that the more I've listened to the album, the better I like them, because there are nuances in these songs that are kind of throughout the whole album, but they also come into the kind of traditional Slipknot stuff that is on this album. The fourth song is Yen, and that's the third single, so it's interesting. They have three singles in a row. And I feel like, it starts with it Adderall and then it kind of pulls me back to the old Slipknot, because Yen is kind of also a Slipknot-y way somehow. But yeah, it's though a song that I actually started liking before the album came. It's one out of three singles that I actually liked. And then they kick off into a song called Hive Mind, which is a kind of a signature song in a way, but has this amazing drumming. And I think from minute 2 or something like that, there is a blast beat that is just out of this world. And I think this drummer, Jay Weinberg, he's just in a different category. I mean, it's not like Slipknot had bad drummers before. Joey Jordison may he rest in peace. But this guy is just something else. He's a different kind of animal, and it really, really it shines through. He plays the drums. They add something. They're not just something in the background. They actually they they bring something more to that music, and he really does that nicely. Then song number 6 is Warranty, which I think will be amazing live. That's another kind of signature Slipknot song in a way, that the chorus will be something that the crowd will love, and they have like a choir in the background in the breakdown, and great drumming again from Jay. Song 7 is Medicine for the Dead. That kind of takes us back to the experiment table, let's say, that they started in song number 1. Has a super heavy intro and some flashes of old school thrash metal, and which I also felt on other songs somehow. There was something with the guitars and the riffs and the hooks that was slightly different on this album. I don't know exactly, I can't put my finger on it, but it's somehow, I don't know, maybe more melodic, different kind of guitar sounds and different riffs and hooks. A great song, one of the better songs on the album, I think. Song number 8 is Acidic, I think it's called, Acidic. It's kind of Alice in Chains meets Soundgarden, and so kind of a grungy sound. And I think the key thing in that, and the key element in that, is the bass sound. The bass sound in that song is really cool. And it kind of, when I was listening to that song, it kind of made me think, like, how can you have a band of 9 people that you can make space for all of them to be heard somehow? And I think this song kind of shows that. Song number 9 is Heirloom, and that's kind of, for me, the song that I like the least. It's a little bit of a cliche somehow, but I mean, it's 12 songs, 53 minutes. There was bound to be something that wouldn't be great somehow, you know? And this one is that. And then they get into another song that I can easily imagine becoming very popular. It's called H377, and that's just kind of 4 minutes, 23 seconds of pure anger somehow packed in a song, and that raw energy that we like about Slipknot. Song number 11 is Desad, this Marquis Desad, this Sadomaso, whatever he was. He wrote some book, famous guy, French. There's a little bit of a wow guitar, some interesting effects and stuff like that. And yeah, the solos are a little bit more melodic. I really like that song. And the 12th and final song is called Final, and it kind of does what it says on the tin. It's a final. It's a piano, clean vocals, but then builds up to become very dramatic. And I can imagine this to be the final song in a Slipknot concert, and the fans going nuts, singing along. It would be a great encore. So I think, one tip, guys, I wouldn't listen to this album in kind of from song 1 to 12. I would put it on shuffle, because I feel that it starts out, then gets good old Slipknot, then back to more experimental, and I think I would say the song order isn't super balanced for what this album actually has and offers. And I would listen to it in headphones, because it kind of, you need to really hear good quality, because when I was playing it in the car, I didn't feel it in the same way as when I had it on the headphones. It's not like a immediate album that you kind of fall for immediately. I had to listen to it 5-6 times before I kind of started appreciating some of the other things than the ones that I liked right away from the start. And yeah, I think, well, I was trying to figure out what is it that makes it so different, apart from some of the songs being very different, but there are also more kind of like normal Slipknot songs, but they still feel a little bit different. And I read somewhere that Jim Root, the guitar player, who, you know, has been there from the beginning, more or less, he contributed less to this album. He wasn't very happy with it. He wasn't happy with how the process was. He felt there was too much pressure and stuff like that. And I don't know if I can hear it somehow. Maybe it actually became a good thing. Nothing against Jim Root, but I feel that there's just something different with this album in overall. The grunge, definitely, the thrash metal, and the solos and guitar sound is somehow different. And yeah, it's 9 people, so, and 2 kind of new guys, the drummer and the bass player. And so I guess with this, and there's one more guy new, I think, actually. With this, you get a dynamic that you know, like everyone brings something to the table, and I think that's how a band like this can kind of evolve. So overall, I like this much better than the last two albums. I think the singles do not necessarily represent what the whole thing is about. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. I would understand that a lot of, let's say, the old school fans, or actually I'm an old school fan, let's say fans that love the band for what they were on Iowa or Volume 3 or All Hope Is Gone, they might not like this. I kind of feel that it's hard for a band like this to develop, because they have such a signature sound and a style of music and singing and stuff like that, and we, in some way, we want them to stay the same, but we also want them to bring something new. So I think if they would have brought another album like the last one, I think people would be like, okay, they're I don't know, they're gone flat somehow, you know. So they're moving it, but they're moving it gradually, and they're kind of boiling the maggots, like I said, or boiling a frog, you know. In 5 years from now, we'll be listening to I don't know, Slipknot playing classical music or whatever. And I think some of the songs, as I said, I mean, my favorite songs are actually the first one, Adderall. I really like that one. Finale, the last one, and the what's it called? Medicine for the Dead. I really like that song. And well, I kind of like all songs except this song number 9, this Heirloom. And it's a bit of a merger with Stone Sour in a way, I could hear. And I don't know, it's not the end, they said. It's not the final album, it's just the final album on this label. They could have delivered a shitty album to that label and then left the good stuff for a new label or their own label or whatever, but they delivered a great album. I'm not sure where they will go from here. Like I said, you know, Metallica showed some indications, if you take that as an example, with Justice for All, and then they came with the Black Album, then came with Load, and we should have seen it on Justice for All that it was going. I remember I was so pissed off with the Black Album when clean singing and stuff like that, but then it kind of grows on you. I think it's kind of the same with this. They might be kind of bite-sizing it and spoon-feeding us a little bit of a change of Slipknot. It will grow the audience, that's for sure, and it would be nice to see some of these songs live. There are some songs also there that I think would be complicated to do live or hard to get the atmosphere. But I look forward to seeing them. I think they're coming here back to Prague or to Czech Republic next summer, and I'm going to go and see them again, hopefully. So if you like this, then comment. If you dislike this, then comment. If you have other ideas about this album, then comment. And yeah, did I mention comment? See you guys. Bye. Yeah, maybe actually, guys, the quiz. The Bieber. Don't tell anyone. I got it as a present. I sometimes have to wear it to show appreciation. See you guys. Bye.